Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television. We are live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. President Bola Tinubu is currently meeting with members of the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria at the Council Chamber Presidential Villa, Abuja. The meeting is coming in about 48 hours after President of the SCSN, Sheikh Abdul Rashid Hadiyatullah, expressed regret for supporting the Tinubu-Shettima same-faith ticket last year. According to him, the same-faith ticket adopted by President Bola Tinubu to emerge victorious in the last general election has not brought any positive changes to the lives of Nigerians and even the Muslims. The agenda of the meeting is not made public, but it is believed that the economic and security situations might feature as topics. The Federal Executive Council, presided over by President Bola Tinubu, approved the sum of 9.8 billion naira as renewal fees for the group life assurance for federal government workers. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, disclosed this after Wednesday's FEC meeting. The approval was sequel to a memo presented by the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemi Esson. The President approved about 9.6 billion naira for 12 local insurance firms to cover the federal workers in case of unforeseen eventualities in the course of their duties. The Federal Executive Council has ordered a thorough investigation into the explosion that rocked Ibadan, Oyo State, on Tuesday. The Council gave the directive at its first meeting in the year 2024, chaired by President Bola Tinubu. Briefing State House correspondent shortly after the meeting, the Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru, said FEC also set up a committee to look into the issues of environmental degradation and deforestation. Kikelomo Okere has details.
The Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru, noted that the activities of illegal miners pose a huge challenge to Nigeria. Hence, the committee is to come up with a roadmap for tackling the menace. Constituting the committee, according to Badaru, are the service chiefs and the Minister of Defense, among others.
You are all aware that Mr. President called on us and all the service chiefs to discuss this issue. So concerted effort is being done by security agencies to really look into the situation and stop it immediately.
Similarly, FEC noted with concern the spate of kidnapping in the Federal Capital Territory and mandated the service chief to beef up security in the nation's capital. The Defense Minister explained that during a meeting with the service chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ordered them to swing into action and bring the menace to an end, while attributing the rise in insecurity challenges within the FCT to the military operations in the northwest and parts of the north central, which have forced the bandits to flee from their hideouts.
As you are aware, people are panicking that are saying FCT. Well, these kidnappings happen around the suburb area of FCT in Buhari local government, majorly around towns or locations that are bordering Kaduna and Niger. And this is as a result of the current operation going on in the northwest and some part of north central. The bandits are fleeing and they are getting shelters around this. And the security agencies are working too very hard to push them out.
Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has expressed optimism that the African Continental Free Trade Area would help galvanize gross domestic product growth on the continent. The spokesperson of the Vice President, Stanley Nwokocha, said in a statement on Thursday that Shettima spoke during a breakfast with African heads of state to launch the action plan for the AFCFTA. The breakfast was held on the sidelines of the ongoing World Economic Forum held in Davos, Switzerland. Shettima said that based on the World Bank projection, AfCFTA would increase Africa's GDP by $450 billion in 2035 and exports by more than 81%. He also observed that negotiations have turned out to be too slow, with clashes between national and continental priorities. This, according to him, has led to too few consummated deals among countries since January 2021 to date. He urged Africa's private sector players to be proactive in stepping up to the plate to occupy their pride of place in trade on the continent. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, says President Bola Tinubu has approved the payment of renewal fees for the group life assurance for federal government workers. Addressing newsmen after the first Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, he said the president approved about 9.6 billion naira for 12 local insurance firms to cover the federal workers in case of unforeseen eventualities in the course of their duties. Fazia Lukman has the details.
Meanwhile, the Federal Executive Council (FEC) expressed concerns over rising cost of goods and services in the country.
The federal government today approved the group life assurance for all federal government staff as submitted by the head of service. About 12 companies were involved, Nigerian insurance companies were involved, and about 9.8 billion naira was approved by Council to settle the group life assurance claims.
Also briefing journalists after the meeting, Attorney General and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi disclosed that Council mandated him to obtain the National Assembly's ratification of the tax liberalization agreement signed between Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates (UAE) during President Tinubu's visit to the country.
Rising cost of goods and services in the country, as well as the rising cost of doing business in Nigeria, and also noted the excitement and optimism of the real sector that the renewed hope agenda will bring a prosperous 2024. We deliberated on how we can actually improve the manufacturing, the ease of doing, improve the business environment for manufacturers and industrialists.
Council noted that the agreement between both countries, that is between Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates, include personal income tax, company income tax, petroleum profit tax, information technology, levy, tertiary education tax, and capital gain tax. Because of the effect of this cooperation or the benefits that will accrue to Nigeria, the Council agreed and directed that the agreement that had been signed already should be taken further by mandating, authorizing the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice to prepare a bill along this line to take to the National Assembly for ratification. The effect of this is that it has ceased to be an ordinary agreement, but an agreement between two countries. Other countries will follow, but the one that we immediately leverage on is the one between Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates. Apart from this one, Council also decided that going forward, we should also have a very solid national policy on taxation that will drive or attract foreign investment.
Meanwhile, before the commencement of the first Federal Executive Council FEC meeting in the year, President Bola Tinubu had sworn in Ambassador Desmond Akawo as Commissioner of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC. Fawzia Lukman, Global TV News.
The Cross River State Ministry of Health has raised their alarm over the outbreak of Lassa fever, which has already claimed one life in the Ejal community of Osupong Ward 1, Obubara local government area of the state. In a statement signed by the Commissioner of Health, Dr. Egbe Asok, and made available to newsmen on Thursday, citizens were notified of the outbreak following an investigation carried out on the deceased, which confirmed he died of Lassa fever. The state rapid response team will be going to Obubara on Thursday to join the local government area team to ensure contact tracing, line listing, and decontamination of affected premises. The commissioner stated that awareness creation and risk communication, as well as mobilization of Lassa fever commodities and consumables and personal protective equipment to General Hospital Obubara and other locations, have been activated. The Federal High Court in Abuja declared null and void the provisions of the Nigerian Broadcasting Code authorizing the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) to impose fines on broadcast stations for alleged breaches of the code, as it ruled that administrative and regulatory bodies could not exercise judicial powers. Delivering judgment in a suit instituted by the Media Rights Agenda against NBC following the Commission's imposition of fines of 5 million naira each on a television station and 3 pay TV platforms in 2022 for allegedly undermining Nigeria's national security by broadcasting documentaries on banditry in Nigeria. Justice Rita Ofili Ajumogobia held that the NBC, not being a court of law, acted above its powers by imposing such fines. The judge commended MRA for its legal challenge of NBC's action and issued an order of perpetual injunction restraining the commission or anyone acting on its behalf from further imposing any fine on any media platform or broadcast station in Nigeria for any alleged offense committed under the Nigerian Broadcasting Code. FCT Minister Nelson Wike says his administration will make it unbearable for bandits to operate in the Federal Capital Territory. Wike made this known at a town hall meeting with residents of the Buhari Area Council over the high level of insecurity in the territory. Kike Lomo Okere has the rest of the story.
Cases of kidnapping have increased in the country, with the recent situation being the abduction of 6 sisters from their residence in Zuma 1 in Buhari Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory on the 5th of January 2024. The FCT minister says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed him and all service chiefs to explore all necessary means to bring an end to the kidnapping and killing of residents by bandits in Buhari and other areas in the Federal Capital Territory, adding that the President has approved the provision of all necessary tools and logistics required by security operatives to combat insecurity in the FCT, and as such, there is no room for excuses by security operatives.
Mr. President, in the group agenda, we want to face squarely. It is no longer going to be business as usual. Everything has to be done to protect life and property. Without protection of life and property, then we have no business to be in government. Without information, there's nothing we can do. And that is where you have to play a key role. Traditional institution, you have a role to play. Community leaders, you have a role to play. Because by information, you help the security agencies to proactively take control.
He further reassured residents of the area of drastic changes as regards the security situation, while appealing to all stakeholders to support security agencies with information to win the war. a further appeal to residents of the FCT to desist from the use of radio or social media to speak on the operations of the bandits or donation for victims, as it says it only fuels the bandits and promotes their action to carry out more operations.
And so in the next few days, you will see the action of the security agencies to make sure that this kidnapping is brought to a halt. So I condole with you. I sympathize with you for the death of some of our people, for the kidnapping of some of our people.
The demand of 600 million naira as ransom from the kidnappers has generated public outcry, with the police authority vowing to secure the release of the victims. Kikelomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The Nigerian Customs Service said the agency has not raised duty paid on imports, adding that it only aligned with the new foreign exchange rate prescribed by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Comptroller General of the service, Adewale Adeniyi, stated this in Abuja. The customs boss explained that the decision was part of the repercussions of the CBN's effort at enforcing a single forex window. The increase, the third in 2023, reportedly drove the cost of clearing a 40-foot container from 7.3 million naira to 8.9 million naira. But Adeniyi argued that customs could not independently or unilaterally use new exchange rates without recourse to the merged forex window. He said the new administration has not made any pretension towards the fact that it was going to take a number of very bold decisions and reforms aimed at repositioning the Nigerian economy, and reforms that will bring sustainable change over a long period of time. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has begun its constitutional responsibility of conducting the verification of the status of political parties in the country. The Director, Election and Party Monitoring, Hawa Habibu, made this known when she led INEC's election and party monitoring team on a visit to the National Chairman of the APC, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje. Habibu said the visit was part of the Commission's annual verification of political parties. The team will go round to verify the offices with the forms given to INEC to show that the structure of the party as to whether the Electoral Act's provision of a minimum of 24 members of different states of the Federation and the FCT have been complied. She added that the team would also verify the party's audited account. You're watching News Prime live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on StarTimes, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Prime returns, Gombe, Yola, Bauchi to experience two-day blackout, says TCN. The news continues shortly with details of these and more stories right after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of News Prime. Thank you for staying with us. A former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, is currently in court to seek variation of his bail conditions. The former CBN governor is standing trial on 6 counts bordering on procurement fraud to the tune of 1.2 billion naira. This was the first time he would be making an appearance in court without stern-looking armed security personnel guiding him to the courtroom. Emefiele was released from Kuje Custodial Center on December 23, 2023, 34 days after the judge admitted him to bail. He is asking the court to review some terms of his bail conditions. The Minister of State for Mines and Steel Development, Oba Megeri, has stressed the importance of steel as the backbone of modern infrastructure and industrial development in Nigeria. Megeri described the minerals and metals sector as the foundation crucial for economic growth and holistic development in Nigeria. He stated this at the 5th edition of the National Council on Mining and Mineral Resources Development meeting in Ilorin, Kwara State. In a statement by the Ministry's Press and Public Relations Unit, the minister was reported urging stakeholders to be committed to using the sector to help Nigeria prosper and show up its development. He described the conference as a platform for stakeholders to establish strategic partnership and chart a path for advancing economic transformation for the nation via its minerals and metals sector. On the foreign scene, police killed 6 suspects in an early morning shootout Thursday near South Africa's coastal city of Durban, saying they had targeted a gang after a spate of house robberies and murders. The South African Police Service said they operationalized intelligence about the whereabouts of the suspects who were wanted for a spate of house robberies, murders, business robbery, and carjacking. When they arrived at a house, they arrived at a house in Inanda, a crime-ridden township northwest of the port city. They were met with a hail of bullets. 3 suspects, a woman and 2 men, were arrested. According to police, 2 rifles and a shotgun were found in the house, as well as a vehicle that was stolen in December. Last September, police killed 18 people in a Ford cash in transit heist shootout in the country's northeast. Hundreds of flights at Frankfurt Airport in Germany were cancelled on Thursday due to a winter storm that forced the airport to briefly suspend takeoffs and landings. More than 300 of about 1,000 scheduled flights for Thursday at Frankfurt Airport were cancelled. A spokeswoman for the airport operator, Fraport, said on Thursday morning flights were taking off and landing at the airport, but air traffic was still recovering from a storm that brought ice, freezing rain, and snow to much of western and southern Germany. It was unclear if additional flights might be cancelled throughout Thursday, as the airport spokeswoman urged passengers to check the status of their flight online before traveling to the airport. In business, the Nigerian Communications Commission has suspended its planned barring of Glo subscribers from calling MTN lines for 21 days. The Commission disclosed this in a statement on Thursday signed by its Director of Public Affairs, Ruben Muka, as a follow-up to its pre-disconnection notice issued on January 8, 2024. Announcing its extension, the Commission said the parties have now reached an agreement to resolve all outstanding issues between them. For this reason, it has put the phased disconnection on hold for 21 days from today, from January 17, 2024, while the Commission expects the MTN and Glo to resolve all outstanding issues within the 21 days. The Commission insists that interconnect debt must be settled by all operating companies as a necessary component towards compliance with regulatory obligations of all licenses. Nigeria is seeking $1.5 billion aid from the World Bank to tackle the severe dollar shortage contributing to the decline of the Naira. According to the minister, Africa's largest economy may also issue a Euro bond in late 2024, adding that with the current economic reforms, the country deserves support. Euro bonds denominated in foreign currencies offer Nigeria a mechanism to investigate its financial landscape amidst challenging economic conditions. Nigeria is currently battling with about 87 trillion naira debt, which the International Monetary Fund said was manageable, but noted that the interest payment was high for the country. The minister said that the new World Bank loan would be used to finance development, disclosing that the facility would be disbursed to Nigeria very soon. Electricity consumers in Gombe and some parts of Yola and Bauchi states will experience power outage on Thursday and Friday as a result of the scheduled maintenance of power facilities by the Transition Company of Nigeria. The TCN announced that its maintenance crew will carry out scheduled preventive maintenance on the bay of its transformer on Thursday and Friday, January 18 and 19, 2024. According to a statement by the TCN General Manager, Public Affairs Ndidi Mba, the maintenance would last 8 hours running from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on each day. Mba disclosed that to commence the maintenance exercise, TCN would transfer the load from T1A transformer to its T2A transformer in the same substation, adding that consequently there would be an interruption of bulk power supply to Jos and Yola Disco through the T1A transformer. In sport, Ivory Coast midfielder Seko Fofana has won Nigeria. Sorry, I beg your pardon. In sports, the Super Eagles of Nigeria defeated the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire in the Group A second match, with Nigeria scoring 1 goal via penalty, with Tros Ekong putting the Nigerian side ahead. With that victory, that puts Nigeria on top of Group A with 4 points. Let's join Sports Desk for more sporting stories. Fellow sports fans, welcome to Sports News Update. Let's begin from AFCON 2023, where Morocco forward Yusuf El Nasri was forced to celebrate his goal against Tanzania from the bench during a bizarre moment in the 2023 AFCON. El Nasri found the back of the net late on during his size 3-0 win in their group stage opener after placing home an effort from close range. The strike was initially ruled out for offside by on-pitch officials, leaving El Nasri and the rest of the Morocco side distraught. To make sure no mistakes were made, the decision went to VAR, and during the analysis of the goal, Morocco opted to make some substitutions. El Nasri, Hakim Ziyech and Azzedine Ounahi were all replaced. While VAR came to a decision after El Nasri had been taken off, VAR ruled that the goal should stand due to the forward being in an onside position. Attention quickly turned to the Sevilla forward, who was then sat on the substitute bench as players and staff quickly gathered around him to celebrate. Still talking AFCON 2023 stories, Zambia took their lead against Congo in their African Cup of Nations opener in bizarre fashion. After capitalizing on a quick throw-in, Kings Kangwa opened the scoring in the 23rd minute of the clash at the Stade Laurent Poco with a long-range strike after Congo goalkeeper came rushing out of his box, had charged out his area to meet a long ball before the oncoming Zambian player. However, he quickly realized that he had come too far. Zambia took the following throw in quickly and found Kangwa in space, who let fly from range and watched his effort sail into the back of the net. The Congo defenders flung their bodies in the air in an attempt to try and stop the looping effort. However, they and their goalkeeper could only watch as it landed in the goal. The sensational striker took almost everyone by surprise, with his teammates quickly wailing away in celebration alongside him. And talking World Cup matters, the 2026 World Cup final is set to be held at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, with FIFA picking the venue ahead of the MetLife Stadium in New York. According to reports, FIFA will confirm the choice later this week, and soccer's governing body is also set to base itself in Texas for the tournament in 2026. The tournament is going to be expanded from 32 teams to 48 for the first time, with a total of 104 games to be played across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The report says that a 72-game group stage could be wrapped up in 15 days, with the top 2 teams from each 4-team group, as well as 8 best third-place teams advancing to the knockout stages. And all roads will lead to Texas and the stunning home of the Cowboys, who play the other football there. Karim Benzema is suing France's interior minister for defamation after he accused the ex-Real Madrid striker of having links to a terrorist organization. Gerard Darmanin claimed that Benzema was connected to the Muslim Brotherhood in the wake of the French footballer's criticism of the unjust bombings in Gaza in October. In response, the 36-year-old has filed a case against Darmanin, who is guilty of political exploitation, according to Benzema's lawyer, Hugues Viga. In his complaint reported widely in France, Benzema denied any links to the organization or, to his knowledge, anyone who claims to be a member of it. Darmanin is yet to comment on the complaint. The Muslim Brotherhood was officially classified a terrorist organization in 2021 after Austria banned the group under the new anti-terrorism law. And talking tennis, Novak Djokovic paid tribute to male sports legendary correspondent Mike Dixon after he tragically passed away on Wednesday. Tim Herman and Rafa Nadal led the tributes from across the sporting world, with the world number one adding his own voice to the chorus after his first-round win against Alexis Popyrin. Condolences to Mike Dixon's family. Rest in peace, Djokovic wrote on X, the platform previously known as Twitter, in response to the post from Dixon's family announcing his passing. Dixon was hugely respected and admired journalist who spent 38 years in the industry, 33 at the Mail, having started in 1990, and his loss will be felt deeply by colleagues. He previously worked as a Mail's cricket correspondent before moving over to tennis and covered 30 different sports across nearly 50 countries in total during a rich career. And that's how we call it a wrap on the Sports News Update. I am Anthony Momodu. All right, from the sporting arena, let's head to the business arena where Kikem Lamo Okere is there for more business news.
Hello and welcome to Business Report on Prime News. The NGX bullish runs continue today as the AI share index appreciated by 2.38% to close at 9,063.25 points, up by 2,092.88 from yesterday's 87,970.37 points. Between Monday, January 15th and January 17th, the NGX has appreciated by a whopping 8.45%, and the year-to-date, the market has appreciated by 20.45%, making it the fastest-growing equities market in the world, ahead of the Argentine stock market. Trading sentiment was quite bearish for banking stock as all the Fugas Bank recorded price losses. However, this sentiment was balanced by a bullish run for a big stocks such as Boa Cement and Dangote Cement, which recorded 9.99% and 9.86% gain respectively. The Central Bank of Nigeria, in its bid to clear the backlog of outstanding foreign exchange liabilities, has paid approximately $2.0 billion across various sectors, including manufacturing, aviation, and petroleum. This is contained in a statement released by the Apex Bank and signed by the Acting Director, Corporate Communication, Hakama Sidi Ali, in Abuja. The CBN has also cleared up the entire liability of 14 banks and started settlement with foreign airlines. She explained that the bank had commissioned an independent forensic review by a reputable firm, adding that payment of the forex backlog for qualified transaction had commenced, while noting that the review revealed grave infractions, gross abuse, and significant non-compliance with market regulation, and appropriate sanction will be enforced in collaboration with relevant agencies. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited says a total of 10,166 illegal refinery and crude oil connections were destroyed in Nigeria since 2021. It specifically stated that over 5,686 illegal refining sites were destroyed, while 4,480 illegal crude oil connections were removed. NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer Mili Kyari disclosed this while speaking as a guest lecturer during the 2024 faculty lecture titled Energy Security, Sustainable and Profitable in Nigeria, Advanced Challenges and Opportunity, organized by the Faculty of Science of the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State. He comments on the challenges posed by pipeline vandalism and crude oil theft in Nigeria. Kyari, in a statement issued by the company in Abuja, observed that the issue had impacted NNPCL operation adversely. The Minister of Finance, Wale Edo, has disclosed that Nigeria is in talk with the World Bank for up to $1.5 billion funding to alleviate a severe dollar shortage. It says the move will also support the national budget as the severe dollar shortage has contributed to Naira decline. According to the minister, Africa's largest economy may also issue Eurobond in late 2024, adding that with the current economic reform, the country deserves support. Eurobond, dominated in foreign currency, offer Nigeria a mechanism to navigate its financial landscape amid challenging economic conditions. Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News.
That's it on News Prime, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momori saying thank you for watching and see you again.